Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. That's right, more news. We've been just getting slammed with interesting information about the next Battlefield game for the past 3 days now, and there's more to come in this video, but I just want to shout out to all you guys on the massive support on the last 2 videos. Obviously, you guys are just coming back to see some new Battlefield news, but it's always interesting to read the comment section and get the general gist of how the community is feeling around this information. And I just want to really thank you guys for your awesome support. You guys know I'll always be here uploading YouTube videos and streaming every single day. And regardless of how the next Battlefield game goes, I do always enjoy content and trying to entertain people. And it's going to be really interesting once we actually get our hands on the next Battlefield game. So without further ado, let's jump into this new news. If you're new here, I'm mainly a Battlefield/FPS channel. If you want to follow any sort of updates, definitely subscribe to the channel, hit the like button. Thank you guys for hitting 65,000 subs. That is just wild. Let me know in the comment section, what should I do for this milestone, or perhaps the 70,000 sub milestone. So, the news today is Tom Henderson released some leaks about the next Battlefield game, and some of these leaks are potentially really great news for the future of the next Battlefield game. But as with every single Tom Henderson article, these are leaks. This is not official information. He gathers this information from quote-unquote sources in his own words, so take everything with a grain of salt here. And if you would like to read along, I will link the article in the description. Tom Henderson begins this article by rehashing some of the things that we have already heard, rehashing the Vince Zampella interview. I made a video on that. If you have not seen that, that video was posted 2 days ago. Then he also rehashes some of the other news, and all of this news is, again, in videos I have already posted. So maybe pause this video and go back and watch the 2 other videos to catch up in the news series here. Both of those videos will be in the description. The new stuff starts by stating that apparently Tom Henderson has information that the game will take place somewhere between 2027 and 2030. So this is a very near future approach to a Battlefield game. He goes on to explain that the campaign mode for the new Battlefield will apparently be focused on a private military group going up against NATO, and it will be set across various locations worldwide, including, interestingly enough, a location in the United States, which may or may not be the focus for the Battle Royale experience, which Tom Henderson all but confirmed over a couple months ago at this point, as the mode that Ripple Effect is working on in secret. Obviously, the Battlefield community, or at least most of the Battlefield community, is going to be vehemently against any sort of extraction shooter or a Battle Royale, but EA doesn't care. They see the potential. Even though Firestorm failed, even though Hazard Storm failed, they still want a piece of that pie, and at the end of the day, they release games to make money, and this is EA. They don't care, guys. They don't. They're going to try it. They want that money. And I have maintained this position that if they're actually successful in integrating a successful Battle Royale or a successful free-to-play extraction shooter, the benefits to the Battlefield franchise would be massive. It would bring in a lot more eyes, a lot more interest, and it would boost the player count for the multiplayer as well as the new mode. So while it's incredibly risky, I do understand their point of view here, and let's just hope they don't mess it up, you know? The next few paragraphs are certainly the main focus of this article and feature some information that, if true, it could be pretty impressive. Tom Henderson claims that the next Battlefield game is aiming to have 45 new weapons at launch of the next Battlefield game, which is double that of Battlefield 2042 at launch, on top of the fact that the game is supposed to have about 10 multiplayer maps, putting it in line with, quote, the likes of Battlefield 1, 3, and 4. On one hand, this is good news because if this is true, that means we will be receiving more content than Battlefield 2042 and even Battlefield 5. On the other hand, should we really be excited for this? Because this just means that we'd be returning to normalcy. We would finally be receiving a Battlefield with an acceptable, normal amount of content. Is that praiseworthy? In my opinion, no, it's not. It's not praiseworthy. It would be par for the course. It would be what we should have received with Battlefield 5 and with 2042. There is no excuse, but if this is true, it is good. It's just one of those things where I'm not going to get excited. Like, oh wow, it took you 8 years to finally deliver another complete Battlefield game. But keep in mind, this article does not feature any information on what the content release schedule or plan is for the next Battlefield game. So we don't know how many weapons are being added with each content drop. We're not sure how many maps are being added with each content drop. So it could be more impressive or less impressive just based on what their plan is. Now, for those of you that are destruction enjoyers, meaning that you really like being able to blow stuff up in Battlefield games and are worried about the next game's destruction, Tom Henderson has some information regarding this subject. First of all, he says the next game will feature a destruction overhaul, which will include caliber-based destruction akin to, quote, Rainbow Six Siege. What he means by this is a, say, 9mm pistol will make a smaller hole than a 50 caliber sniper rifle in, let's say, a wood paneling, perhaps a concrete barrier. This will mean that if you want to destroy, say, a wood panel covering a window, you'll more easily be able to do that with like a shotgun or a .308 caliber rifle than you will with a pistol. Overall, this sounds pretty cool, and it doesn't really deter anything from gameplay, in my opinion. I think this is just more of a immersive addition. It shouldn't realistically have any gameplay implications other than just looking cool. But it is certainly a welcome addition to the game, and I am eager to see this in action because I guess we won't know its true effect until we actually witness it happen in-game. On top of the newly added destruction effect, Tom Henderson does insinuate that they will attempt to add soldier dragging to the next Battlefield game. This feature was very infamously cut from being added to Battlefield 5, and a lot of people were seemingly upset about this, but I kind of don't understand why, because it doesn't really do anything, in my opinion, if the revive is fast enough to where you can just revive someone and get it over with. Tom Henderson states that this is most likely being added because of the Battle Royale experience, and me personally, as a streamer, I can just see this already being abused by people that are just trying to ruin other people's experience. You know, as a streamer, I get stream sniped in these games all the time. I can just see it now. Some idiot joins my server, I die, they drag my body everywhere. It's just going to be a nightmare. So, honestly, guys, I'm not really excited about this. I don't really see it being useful. I just see it being used for trolling and maybe some, like, occasional cool immersive squad play. Other than that, I am not really that excited. But the last pieces of information here I am very excited about. Tom Henderson reports that he thinks they're going to bring back Battlefield Community Test Environment, or the Battlefield CTE, that was available in Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 1. This really did help the development of Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 4, and as I've stated in many previous videos, I just think it's a great time to bring back the Battlefield community test environment to perhaps prevent a lot of bugs from getting in the base game and just having a higher quality, better tested video game. I don't see there to be any reason why this shouldn't be added. And last but certainly not least, apparently there has been internal bickering about what this game should be titled. If you remember, the next Battlefield game doesn't currently have a title, but some of the names being thrown around internally, according to Tom Henderson, are just Battlefield, and then of course, Battlefield 6. Me personally, I'm in the camp where I think they should just go all out, and they should name this game very simply Battlefield. If they're trying to go, quote-unquote, back to basics, if they're trying to revive the franchise, what better title than just calling it what it is? Battlefield. It doesn't need a 6. You can use that in the next title, or perhaps Battlefield 7, or whatever that would be. But I just think the title Battlefield would be a big statement. Now, of course, this statement could be ruined by the game sucking, but, you know, let's not think about that right now. We're just thinking about what it should be called, and I want to hear your opinions on that. What do you guys want? Do you want Battlefield 6, or do you want Battlefield? So thank you guys so much for watching. Again, thank you for 65,000 subscribers, and thank you to anyone that is new. I hope you guys enjoy the content. If you did, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I do post videos very, very regularly, and I will be actively covering Delta Force, Battlefield, and really any FPS games that come out. And also be sure to come by the stream and check out the Metafy group. If you really, really enjoy the content, my Metafy group is kind of like my Patreon. You get access to behind-the-scenes stuff. That link will be in the description as well. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next one.